This is Brandy Crosby of Unshakable Presence. I help women find their confidence so they can live the lives they were called to live. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about identifying where you hide, triggers, and shame stories. So let's jump right in. There are 4 places that women tend to hide, and we'll jump right in with the first, which is busyness. Probably you are not surprised to see this be the first thing. If you ask somebody how they're doing, they're like, I'm great. I just have so much going on. Hey, what's up? Oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so busy. So in becoming visible, we can get so spread out and doing so many different things that we are not focusing in on 1 or 2, 3 things. And so we're just kind of the person that's fluttering by. So if you ever think of like a whole bunch of bugs flying around the light, like you kind of see them, it's like, okay, well, I can't really identify one of them. There's so many of them, right? Or maybe if you think about a bee's nest that, or a beehive that you bonk. Now, don't do this, but this is just for imagination's sake. But you've seen Pooh Bear, right? He bonks the beehive and the bees go everywhere. Right? And you cannot identify one bee from another because they're just buzzing everywhere, okay? So this is a place where a lot of women hide, you know. I am much more comfortable being busy rather than living without purpose or living those purposes that God really wants me to live. So I'm just going to say yes to everything, and I'm going to do all the things. If you ask me, yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do this. And so that's actually a place where a lot of women hide, is busyness, okay? The second one here is ability. A lot of people are like, well, I can't do that. Ability. There we go, okay? Well, I can't do that. I can't sing. I'm not a public speaker. You hear people say, oh, I don't get up on stages. You know, I could never possibly do that. I know I'm not good at that, right? Think about in the last week. Have you said anything like that? Just kind of think about to yesterday, or like to the last week or yesterday, where has there been anything like, well, not great. Like, for example, with me, I just started karate. And we did this thing yesterday where we were on our hands and my feet were up on this big rolly bag thing, and I was having to walk across the room with this, and I did not have the core strength to be able to do that. I did not have the ability to win that race in the moment, okay? But I wasn't gonna hide. I wasn't gonna just clam up and go over to the side. I was just gonna do it because I have a little bit of an ability, right? And I certainly am not going to get the ability to do that if I don't practice it, right? And so that's key there, that the ability, yeah, you won't have the ability to do something unless you start, okay? Remember, whenever you learn to walk, you fell down hundreds of times a day. That's normal when starting something new. So yes, we don't start with the ability to do something, except for breathe. Maybe you digest food, right? Like, pro tip. All right, so that's the second thing. The third thing, and I see this a lot with women, playing small. And you're gonna hear me use this phrase a lot because this is something that I see over and over and over and over again in our society, playing small. So for example, you go into a church and sometimes there are mainly men kind of leading some things. And women are like, well, no, I can't lead, you know, that's their job. You have a voice. You have a voice. You have the ability to empathize and be with people. Go do it. Don't play small. Go do it, okay? I see women, well, I'm not very strong, and so I'm just gonna be over here. I remember my grandmother in her older years, she was at a retirement facility and she could barely walk, okay? But she led a Bible study, and she would print out all of the things and would have it ready for everybody, and she'd print it out in large print so everybody could see it. Did she play small? No, she did not play small. Did she have the strength really to get up and do these things? No. Could she have watched her shows, right? There's lots of shows on, right? Could she have stayed in her room? Absolutely. But she chose not to play small. Okay? Women play small all the time. If you listen, you will hear women apologizing a lot for things that maybe apologies would not be a normal thing for a man, right? So just listen to yourself this week. If you find yourself apologizing, maybe you're playing too small. Okay, there are times for sure when we need to apologize, but there is also times that I hear people say, "Oops, I'm sorry," "Ooh, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Oh, I'm sorry," Think about how many times you're saying those words, okay? And think about how, are you playing small in any area, okay? I will say for me, I've had this YouTube channel since like 2012, and it is 2025, and I'm just now starting to post. I was playing small. I'm not playing small anymore, okay? Number 4, lack of clarity. Playing small, okay? We're bombarded with so many different things, with so many different ideas. If you just scroll on Facebook, you're gonna get somebody selling you this, this is the answer to this is the answer to this, right? And you're like, oh, okay, well, I wanna do that thing, I wanna do this thing. I still remember when I was in elementary school, they asked me, Brandy, what's your favorite color? And I was like, why do I have to pick a color? Like, can't I just love them all, right? And the answer is yes, you can just love them all. But sometimes it's really helpful to get clarity. So I remember kind of getting into the world of what do I want to do when I grow up, okay? I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a flutist. And I was really clear on that, and I had a lot of progress behind that, and then I got sick. And then things started getting really fuzzy for me, really fuzzy for me. This was the first time in my life where I lacked clarity. And then 35 jobs later, here I am. Oh, God does want me to be on stage. It's just not with flute, right? So that's where I am today. But I had to go through that, the lack of clarity for a long time. And I had to have people asking me, and I will give my boss at work a lot of props for this, and some accountability coaching that I'm doing with a group called Clemmer and Associates. I love Clemmer. Okay, so check out their website. But getting clarity is so important. So if you are kind of in the wilderness, if God said, go to this promised land, and you're hanging out in the wilderness, well, he's going to let you be in the wilderness till you find, he's going to keep giving you different hints and suggestions along the way. But the lack of clarity will keep you from playing small. And I will say, like, personally through my story, I was teaching my stuffed animals from the moment I was like in kindergarten. I fell in love with teaching. I wanted to help people. I loved teaching anything. I would teach anything. And then I went through this journey of, okay, I learned how to focus on something, but then I kind of got lost, right? But think back to whenever you were a kiddo, because there may be some things there for you to unpack. But identify where you've been hiding. Okay, and are you hiding because of kind of guilt or shame, any of those things, okay? Wash it off, okay? And keep going. Don't hide, okay? God bless everybody. Hope this has been helpful.